Hey guys, welcome to Sakura Spirit. This is TJ, your gamer girl, signing on. So, I decided to put Toko on hold until the voice acting DLC came out, because the voice I was doing for Toko was really wrecking my voice. Now I know I probably could have stopped doing that voice for Toko, but it just fit the character and I'm stubborn like that, okay? So I decided to go with a different visual novel. This one. Now I know what a lot of people are thinking about the Sakura. I know the Sakura games are notorious for lots of ecchi stuff. And while this is the first time I'm actually playing a Sakura game, it's not the first time I've seen one. I watched Noble from Lost Paws do Sakura Beach 1 and 2, Sakura Swim Club, Sakura Santa, and Sakura Shrine Maidens. So those are the only ones you're not going to see on my channel because I know how it goes. And since they're visual novels, you know. So I also decided to go to the beginning of their plethora of visual novels, and they're still coming out with more. Sakura Gamer is in production, I believe. So, let's get started, shall we? Every person has a dream they wish to pursue. Yet as people grow up, they often come to realize the truth. Dreams are nothing more than fairy tales. Unfortunately. At least, that's what most people say. Then, what about those who end up accomplishing their dreams? Are they merely incredibly lucky? Every man has a dream he wants to accomplish. However, there's something really important that you should know, my boy. A real man doesn't give up on his dream, no matter what overwhelming challenges he might have to face. I still remember those foolish words my dad used to say, but despite their silly nature, I found myself inspired by them. Ever since I was a young child, I've been interested in martial arts. It didn't matter whether I watched on a television or watched a match on television or read a manga about some heroic martial artist. It has always been my dream to become a martial artist one day. Of course, it was a bit childish of me to think that I could become a hero simply by learning martial arts. Even though I already understood that superheroes were nothing more than figments of my imagination, I still had a desire to use my strength for the sake of others. My name is Gushiken Takahiro, a 17-year-old rising judo star. I know, that's not just me bragging. I'm actually about to take part in a tournament 2 weeks from now that could make or break my career on an international level. Of course, I was excited about the opportunity to finally accomplish my dreams and represent my country at a sport that I loved. But at the same time, excitement also made me feel incredibly nervous. I read that completely wrong, but I'm going with it. Screw it. And while those worrisome thoughts haunted my mind, a familiar voice resounded from outside the window. Oi! Taka-kun! Get your butt in gear! Okay, I'll be right there, Kiyomi. Not wanting to keep Kiyomi waiting, I quickly dashed toward the front door to let her in. Not even realizing I was still in my pajamas. Hold on a second, Kiyomi, gotta grab my shoes before we head off to school. Really? I never realized our school had a strict uniform or sleepwear policy. Nice jammies, by the way. Did you borrow them from your mom? For a moment, my eyes drifted downward, noticing that I was indeed wearing my pajamas. I let out a groan of annoyance and marched back towards my room. There's nothing wrong with my jammies. The Golden Knight is a famous comic book hero in the West. Besides, not everyone prefers to sleep naked like you. Mumbling those words, I started stripping out of my clothes, not particularly minding the presence of the girl behind me. That only happened once. You know very well, it was super hot that night. Jeez, warn me before you strip naked in front of me, baka! There's a tsundere. You didn't seem to mind it when we were little. Maybe you want me to turn around instead? No, stop! Don't make me kick your ass! I decided I had teased her enough and quickly pulled on my pants, proceeding with the remaining few items of clothes I had before I was suitably dressed for the school. Besides, I had a reason for being so distracted. You've been distracted a lot lately. What's going on in that hollow skull of yours? It's that upcoming match. I have no idea how anyone can remain calm when an international career is at stake. I wouldn't be surprised if I had made up enough doomsday scenarios to fill up the apocalypse genre. Oh right, the judo thing. I'm sure you'll do fine. I've seen some of your matches and you kick butt. And of course, if you're really worried, you could always pray. Pray. What? Don't tell me you don't know. It's one of the school's legends. Apparently, there's some shrine out in the forest that, if you pray to it, brings you good luck. Ichikawa-san said that his sister prayed to it the night before the exam, and she got a perfect score. A shrine that is said to bring you good luck? Sounds like bogus to me, but at this point I'm willing to try anything, I guess. I'll ask Ichikawa-san about the location. I'm not exactly in a good mood to get lost in the forest and end up a modern-day Tarzan. Well, whatever. If you do go looking, at least send me a message to let me know. And will you hurry up? We're going to be late again! Heroes never too early, nor are they too late. They arrive precisely when they are needed. But for the sake of avoiding attention, let's hurry. That's a wizard, not a hero, genius. How can one person be such a sports nerd and such a geek at the same time? Let's not forget the Casanova and Man of the Year candidate bits. They're important details. I doubt you'd qualify for either of them, Pajama Boy. Anyway, let us boldly go where everyone has gone before. To school! Oh my god! And now there's a Star Trek reference? Ugh! Nerd! Several... What the hell, dude? Later that day, I finally got a chance to talk to my classmate about the location of the shrine that Koyomi had mentioned earlier. I need to turn that down more. Good god. There we go. Gym was the last thing on the schedule for today, so once people got ready to go home, I approached the guy. Hey, Ichikawa, is it true that your sister discovered some shrine that is said to bring you good luck? Wow, that's not a bad guy model. Ho-ho! Let me guess, you want to date her? Well, even though I do have to admit that she's very attractive, I'm afraid she's already going out with someone else. Not to mention, you're not her type. I already got my hands full dealing with Kiyomi. You can keep your sister to yourself. Joke aside, I'm more interested in that shrine. Did she mention where she found it? I didn't know there was anything near the forest aside from the dojo. Oh, well, she said something about it being near a river, and quite high up. To be honest, I wasn't paying too much attention when she was going on about it. I mean, she was wearing this top, and it was tight, and dude, this is your sister you're talking about! Stop! Stop! I seriously don't need to hear the details, and I doubt anyone else is interested. So, do you know anyone who might have heard about the shrine? Are you guys talking about that lucky shrine out in the forest? The one and only? According to Ichikawa's sister, there's supposed to be one near a river. I don't know about that, but there's this fiery girl at the Sakura dojo who knows more about it. Wait, are you talking about Arya-san? Arya-sama? About this tall, ridiculously strong, and super scary? That's the one! Oh, in that case, I believe I can still be of help, Takehiro-kun. I know where that place is. Of course you do, we both do. You just want to tag along, don't you? I don't think Arya-senpai will appreciate you visiting her with your usual tricks in mind. Do we need to remind you what happened last time you tried to peek at her after she finished practice? Blood, sweat, and tears. Shut up, I don't peep on the ladies. That's slander, you know. I should sue you. I would never look upon Arya-sama's glorious body in any state of nudity. Oh, so you haven't seen her naked yet. I've seen it beat a side boob, but the hole I found didn't really give me a good view. There we go. Someone call the cops. Ichikawa the peeping Tom confessed. I playfully patted Ichikawa's shoulder as I turned around, grabbing my bag in the process, and prepared to leave. Thanks for the tip, Ichikawa. I'll let the judge know you were most helpful during the interrogation.
This is unfair. I was coerced. I won't say another word until I speak with my lawyer.
Ay, Faye. Once school was over, I decided to take my chances with the little bit of intel I managed to obtain from my classmates. If memory served me right, Aria-senpai would be practicing at the dojo today. Of course I knew her. She was a judo student like myself. But for whatever reason, she's been refusing to compete in any tournaments for a while now. Aria-senpai, you around? I shouted her name as I parked on my bike, looking around for any sign of the girl.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Follow the shouts and you will find her. I grinned briefly as I saw Aria seemingly in the middle practicing a series of motions, almost as if she was fighting an imaginary opponent. Perhaps now was the perfect opportunity to surprise her a little? I snuck closer, making sure to make as little noise as possible before I reached a hand towards her shoulder. Aria, feeling a hand on my shoulder, Aria reacted. She grabbed hold of my hand and with a loud grunt shifted her weight, curling and tipping me over her shoulder. Jesus! I didn't have time to brace myself for the impact before I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes.
Ha!
No one sneaks up on the great Kunoichi Aria.
Oh,
Takaboy, I didn't realize it was you.
I'm sorry. Takaboy, I didn't realize it was you. I'm sorry, you okay?
Kunoichi, boy, like a Tasmanian devil.
That throw didn't have a shred of mercy in it.
There's no mercy in the rain, Takaboy. Better you learn that now than in 2 weeks' time. Let me guess, you want to do some sparring, don't you?
I actually came here to ask you something, but I guess a little sparring wouldn't hurt.
Any more than you already were hurt.
Oh? Well, when do you want to ask? We've got all afternoon, and I could do with a bit of a break anyway. Where to start?
You used to take part in big important matches in the past, right? Did you ever get nervous before going into the ring?
Oh yeah. This one time I got so nervous I hid in the kitchen cupboards until my dad found me and dragged me to the car. Of course, that was when I was like 8. Well, obviously I can't go and hide from my match. But one of my friends made this stupid suggestion that I go and pray or something. Honestly, at this point, I'll do anything to calm my nerves a little.
Takaboy, are you sure about this?
You mean the match? Of course I am. I've been practicing judo ever since I was old enough to walk. This is my chance to finally represent this country and the sport I love.
Anya seemed to think for quite a long time, while all the while tapping her jaw with a finger. Eventually, she snapped her fingers and grabbed a tight hold of me.
Alright, I'll tell you the way to the shrine I know, but it's going to require more than a simple clap of your hands and a bob of your head. You need to give something to the shrine, something of value.
I guess I'll have to think of something before we get there. Thanks, Senpai. I appreciate the help.
We?
Oh, no, Takaboy. I'm not going with you. I've got training to do. Besides, you gotta take this step yourself. I could draw you a map and show you an easy way to get back here, but you'll be on your own. You're not tagging along? Not even for a little while?
Afraid so, Takaboy. Let me just grab some paper. I'll draw that map for you.
After Adia's return, quick preparations were made and I followed the directions noted on the map. Surprisingly, it wasn't that far. However, the hint on how to find my way back in case I got lost was a bit sketchy. Just to look down and you'll be able to see the roof of the dojo from anywhere on the hill. The forest near the dojo was my first challenge to overcome. A narrow path coiled along the trees, and nearby was the river Ichikawa's sister had mentioned. I followed Aria's scribbles with a bit of skepticism, but after an hour or so, I'd finally arrived at the supposedly legendary shrine. The shrine itself seemed surprisingly well maintained despite being in the middle of nowhere. It made me wonder if someone could be secretly living there, perhaps some secret martial arts master? The thought of a hermit living in hiding within the shrine in order to prepare himself for an upcoming battle between good and evil started to dwell on my mind. Pretty much the premise of a crap ton of different anime. Remember, keep hydrated during your recordings. I I guess it's too good to be true. I sighed in annoyance at the fact that aside from shrine itself, isn't there supposed to be a "the" in there? The ground surrounding it seemed completely abandoned. There was no way anyone could be living here. For the time being, I decided to focus on the reason behind my visit. It only took a few moments before I gathered the courage to approach the building. Once inside, I found a rather fancy-looking altar of sorts at the back of the room. This is actually a pretty nice place. I guess this is the thing everyone's talking about. Silently, I folded up the map I'd been given. Putting it inside my bag, I approached the altar. I was kind of skeptical about the whole religious aspect, so I wasn't too sure this was actually going to work. I don't even think luck will do me much good in a match like this. In my opinion, there wasn't any room for things like luck in martial arts. Judo is all about using the knowledge you've gained through training. Of course, a good amount of talent also helps. There was simply no room for something as superstitious as luck. Clearly, this was going to be a match where my experience and talent would be pushed to their limits. Nothing more, nothing less. How curious. The boy doesn't believe in superstition, and yet he stands here, surrounded by the very thing he denounces. Upon hearing the voice, I looked around, trying to find the source, but there was no one to be seen. Who's there? Quite the cliched question. But the right thing to ask is, where am I? What are you talking about? Show yourself! Not yet. Entertain me for a little while longer, would you? This is a place like no other. Why did you come here if you do not believe in things such as luck? I came here to prepare myself. Oh, do enlighten me of what this something might be that you're preparing yourself for. I felt a little bit annoyed as the questions continued, but maybe if I kept talking to her, I'd be able to find out where Shell was hiding. Don't you mean where she was hiding? I'm preparing for a tournament, a judo match. Judo? What might that be? Seriously, you don't know what judo is? It's a highly skilled combat art. Aha, so you're a warrior, hesitant to go into battle, and came here in hope of finding the resolve to fight. I'm not sure about the warrior part. How fortunate! It just so happens that there's a need for one of your kind. My kind? A hero. This shrine brings fortune to heroes such as yourself. However, every great hero must sacrifice something in return. Sounds like what the others mentioned. Your version sounds better, though. Laughing briefly at the story, I decided to play along and clapped my hands together in prayer. So what's next? Do I offer up my allowance or something? Don't be silly. Money is of little importance to a hero. For you, the sacrifice would be something of much greater value. I'll be looking forward to seeing what destiny has in store for you. As if on cue, I began to feel nauseated the moment the girl's words reached my ears, my head spinning wildly. Slowly I staggered backwards, collapsing onto my back. As my vision grew blurry, the sound of approaching footsteps could be heard. Good luck, hero. You're going to need it. Hello, demon girl. Despite my attempts to get back up, all I managed was a brief look at the girl. The sight of horns and a tail left many questions, but before I had a chance to utter even a single word, my consciousness succumbed to darkness. Rays of sunlight stirred me back to life, a groan of annoyance leaving my mouth while I tried to get back onto my feet. I felt a bit dizzy, but the first thing I noticed was that I was no longer at the shrine. Instead, it looked like the forest near the dojo. Of course, my first thought was to look around to see if I could find the girl from before, but not a trace of her presence remained. To make things even stranger, the path that I had followed amidst the trees seemed to better maintained than I remembered. I should probably head home. That thought was cut short when the sound of several female voices could be heard nearby. Get back here! Hikage, stop them at once! What do you think you're doing? Just what do you think I'm doing? I'm chasing them! I'm trying to stop them! Yeah, I think they noticed what's missing, One-sama. Keep running, little one, and we might just make it. Just when I thought this day couldn't get any weirder, the sound of heavy footfalls could be heard nearby. What in the world is going on here? Oh, that is brilliant. That is so. Did you look at their faces? She looks more. She's got the best look of, I'm gonna kill you. Further ahead, I saw a couple of girls in fast pursuit of even more girls. However, there was something off about this scene. Something that didn't make any sense. What, did they steal their panties or something? The girls are being chased had the ears and the tail of an animal, and the pursuers appear to be armed with a katana and naginata. You conniving fox! Come back here at once! Return what you stole immediately! Give me back! Oh my god, they did! I was joking! But they actually stole their panties! Oh my god! Only in the Sakura game. Give me back my panties! How could you say something out loud like that? Panties, panties. Oh no, help save us from the rampaging women! As I watched the girls run off, I couldn't help but find myself struggling with the decision to just leave them be. Well, I didn't know what in the world was going on. The two girls armed with realistic looking props, surely they couldn't be real, had me worried. I wouldn't very well call myself a hero if I let something like this go by without acting. I am so going to regret this. Mumbling in annoyance, I chased after the girls. Hikage, go around the left. Right! I said left! Why do you always undermine me? I wasn't saying right, I was... You know what, never mind. Just run after them! As I was chasing the girls, I noticed that the trees seemed to be getting denser, making it gradually more difficult to navigate along the path. One-sama, I don't think I can run much more. I'm starting to feel a bit... Just a little longer, Maiko-chan. We're almost... Maiko, not that! Not now! Sorry, One-sama. Scissor attack! I arrived just in time to find a scene taken straight from an action movie. The girl with blonde hair had collapsed, held in her companion's protective embrace. The two armed girls were approaching them, almost unmistakably with killing instincts running amok. Any seasoned martial artist would have felt it. Those girls were going to be in for a beating if I didn't stop them. We've got you now, thieves. I'm going to personally drag your sorry butts back to town and have you both put in the stocks. Maybe I'll even show you how it feels to run around without any undies on. Yeah! Although I must admit, having a breeze down there does feel kinda nice. Keeps me feeling fresh and tingly. Hikage, goodness, don't you have any shame? This isn't about you, it's about our undergarments. Stolen! And these two criminals being brought to justice. One-sama, my head hurts. Shh, it's gonna be okay, little one. Hey, guards, if you're so desperate to have your underwear brought, then here, catch. Stop it right there. However, I have a bad feeling where this is going. However, before I was able to interrupt the conversation, the silver-haired girl tossed something into the air. Whatever it was flying straight towards my head. The two samurai girls instantly grew flustered. Ah, I can't see! Who the hell tosses it? Peeling the items off my face, I raised them into the air, looking like a professor examining an important sample while the thieves made their escape. A pink bra and lacy black panties. Oh boy, I knew this wasn't going to end well.
You there! Are you in cahoots with those crafty foxes? And hand those back immediately. Those are evidence of a crime, not for anyone else to touch. Drop the panties right now. I'm innocent until proven guilty. It's one of the golden rules of the court. Just stop pointing those weapons at me so I can hand over your undies without being turned into shish kebab. What? No, stop! Shut up! Just drop the evidence and walk away. I am Tsukino Mio, chief of the village guards, and I am ordering you to drop what you're holding right now. I don't know of any village guards, and I seriously doubt a cop would go around dressed like that and wielding a katana. More importantly, the ground here is muddy and dirty. Are you sure I should drop the evidence here? I mean, I could, but... Before I could react, the pink-haired girl lunged at me, pointing the end of her naginata aiming for my gut. My reflexes caught on just in time, and I was able to palm away the spear as it sailed through the air. I struck it upwards on the wooden staff of the weapon, sending it straight up into the air, causing the girl to lose her balance. Nanami, I did not order you to attack! Fine, I'll give them back. Jeez, just my luck to find a bunch of crazy girls with weapons. Extending the hand that held the undies, I tried to hand them over, something that I would soon end up regretting. Ha! You think I'd fall for something so simple? Fool! You may have fooled me once, but I won't let it happen again. The woman swung her weapon wide, arcing? Where's the H? Unless this form of arc doesn't have an H in it. The thick wooden pulled into my side before I could dodge. She then lunged forwards, grabbed me tightly, pulling my arms around my back and leaving me with sore ribs in a prone position. I could have fought back, but I figured it would only lead to more fighting with the possibility of ending up stabbed. I decided to remain passive. The sword-wielding girl stepped forward and grabbed the silky underwear from my hand triumphantly. Your methods might be crude, but they do get results, Ikage. Tie him up. We'll bring him in for questioning. He probably knows where those pesky thieves are hiding. Right! And people wonder why criminals want to resist arrest at all costs. I mumbled this weakly as the girl with the naginata tied my wrists together with rope, and I soon felt myself dragged by the duo towards the city. Surely once we're out of the forest, you two will stop this act of yours and let me go, right? As much as I like to fool around, I have more important things to do. The city? Ha! We're not taking you all the way there. You'll be spending the night in the village cells, thief. Who are you calling a thief? I'm the victim. First I get undies tossed to my face, and then I have to deal with physical abuse, and now these accusations? Besides, there's no village around these parts. It's a city. You know Tsukino Toshi. Silence! Hikage, if he speaks again before we get to the village, you have my permission to knock him unconscious. Tsundere tyrant. That's funny. And that's how I ended up on my way to a jail cell, cuffed and dragged by two girls, both of who I started to suspect were crazy. Alright, well, I'm gonna leave that there for the first episode of Sakura Spirit. The next episode, well, we'll continue. What more can I say about a visual novel? Until then, it's the Gamer Girl signing off. Bye bye!